Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Final Show Films. I'm Sen, your executive producer, and I want to thank you all for tuning in. I particularly want to thank our $25 tier supporters over on our Patreon page at patreon.com/FSFilms, those being Jeffrey Alexander, Samantha Bates, and Al, without whom we wouldn't do nearly as much of the things we do now. So thank you very much for your support over the years. And those of you that are watching live, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're live. I am once again Sen, your keeper for the evening in this Call of Cthulhu, the Vanishing County game. I am joined this week by Jack. And roll your luck. To your luck recovery roll. Oh, they cannot hear you guys for some reason. Because OBS doesn't like keeping settings. Go ahead and do your intro again, Jack.
OBS is a POS.
I'm Jack, and I am once again playing Kathleen Moody probably until such time as she dies or the campaign ends, but you never know. I have failed my luck roll, which I think means I get more luck back.
Yes, you get 2d10 plus 10.
Plus what?
Plus 10.
Nice!
So 28
Very
luck.
nice.
28 luck back. And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Virginia Reeds. I have nothing witty to say. Luck. How did I? Of course I succeeded. Of course I did.
So you get 1d10 plus 5 back.
Yep.
And Drevian.
Brevian Alexander, I play Lillian Clara, who does not intend to skinny dip with Cthulhu today.
Good to know.
Skinny Dip with Cthulhu is my favorite Roy Orbison song.
And Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm playing Vanessa, who fully intends to skinny dip with Cthulhu today. Of course.
You haven't lived until you skinny dip with Cthulhu, and then you've lived and died.
I mean, does it count if you skinny dip with Cthulhu through the perspective of an eldritch anchor?
And William.
Hi, I'm William. Or Shawnee,
For a success, it's 1d10 plus 5, Holly. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
I
six,
will.
yeah.
Six. Hi, I'm William Orshani, and I am playing Victor.
Six.
And
Okay.
I could just roll 2d10 plus 10 right now because there is zero way to fail to succeed this luck roll. But I'll go ahead and roll it for people's
Are you at 0?
I am at 0.
I still think on a 0, if you roll a double lot, you should still be counted as succeeding.
If a double lot is a critical fumble for every other roll, it's a critical fumble for my luck roll, damn.
Yes, but in this case, it's critical fumble the other way.
And
You have as much luck now as I do. Sen, you okay?
That was a sense of spirit.
Our story guide for the evening has left. We are now without any guidance, which is probably better than the guidance that we had before.
There we go.
Because
Craig.
Sen wants to guide us to hell.
Honestly, I was going to give it like 30 more seconds before I assumed it wasn't a bit and there was actually something going on.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing Lewis Lampley. Okay. 19 back.
And finish the thought.
Skinny dipping with Cthulhu reminded me of a tweet thread last night, where it's like, you got arrested. The last character saved in your gallery is your lawyer.
I've seen that a lot. Yep.
The last character on my gallery is the King in Yellow.
Nice.
Oh no.
I did see that one.
I mean, I would take the King in Yellow as my lawyer. That would guarantee that I'd get off in a couple of different ways. Anyways.
What? Excuse me.
I have concerns.
I would like off this train, please.
Just concerns. I just want to talk.
A couple things.
As always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights, and fuck Vince McMahon, and I'm assuming other people within the wrestling industry at any given time.
Probably. Joey Ryan, fuck him.
As a reminder, this stream is powered by Sirenscape, and this is a Call of Cthulhu game, so there might be some unsettling whispers in the background in the audio cues, and also that hopefully all my players are listening to. And also,
yes, they're creepy. I don't like them.
Themes and events that may be upsetting and unsettling for some viewers. If you find yourself needing to step away, please do. Your mental health is more important to us than your viewership. So, when last we left off, the agents of the Federal Bureau of Control had finally made it to the center of the AWE, known as Jade County, Illinois. Specifically to the town of Lake Haven, we're seen to be in the center of whatever was going on here in this particular odyssey of an area. They've determined that this is some sort of eldritch dream being spun up by whatever entity is in the center of the AWE, and had made it their objective to find it. To that end, they stayed in the Lakeview Hotel, which turned out to be completely fine and normal and just a place that was hosting a lovely convention or event in relation to Silent Hill 2. Not that stopped Ginny from stabbing herself in the arm. And the group...
Those two things were not necessarily related. That makes it sound like we walked in, there was a Silent Hill 2 thing, and Ginny was just like, welp.
I mean, Jen was pretty much like, well.
Are you telling me that my narration is meant to be reliable in a Call of Cthulhu game?
Your narration is never reliable.
Point.
I would say even outside of Call of Cthulhu games.
In real life, it's not reliable.
Victim 1 and 2.
We're all victims. What's with the... Why do we need numbers?
Yeah, numeric numbers indicate priority.
I mean, listen. When we all die, and you notice I said when, not if. I definitely want to be first, because if you die in a Call of Cthulhu TPK, you want to be the first gone.
Victim 6.
I got number 2. Who's victim number 1? Why am I not victim number 1?
Johnny.
How do you know you're not victim number 1? I pointed at my screen, which doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah, but it was after I was talking. I want to be victim number 1.
Anyways.
I feel like the real answer is to victimize yourself at the second. Like, oh, we're starting to die. My turn. It's like, I am not suffering through this. Goodbye.
So, we pick up with the agents of the Federal Bureau of Control on a boat that is currently making its way across a lake. The lake is oddly rough as the fishing boat begins to go out, and your longshoreman from very clearly from Newfoundland is in his single stand-up cabin, while the rest of you are sitting in a ring of chairs on the back of the fishing boat.
Newfoundland and Labrador.
The boat is rocking relatively hard, honestly, for how small a lake this is. It shouldn't be this calamitous of a journey. Which is not helping the two people that are currently unable to keep anything down as they are suffering from seasickness, those being Victor and Lillian, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Lillian's very much, like, leaning over the side.
I mean, Victor's currently just dry heaving because he's already gotten rid of everything that was in his stomach.
But yes. However, you're journeying across. Go ahead and give me spot hidden, anyone who wants to. Those of you that are being seasick, it'll be with a penalty die, if you so desire.
Does Lewis have a penalty die because he's still holding Lillian's hair?
No, because you're not actively throwing up.
Well, it cannot get worse.
Don't say that.
In terms of that
cannot.
roll.
Oh, okay. Yes.
That roll literally cannot get worse.
I might be puking my guts out, but I still see shit, apparently.
Yeah. So everyone
Victor
except for Victor. Turn some of this down a little bit. Everyone except for Victor can sees that as the boat is going out, occasionally there is this slight alteration to the color of the water, which you had noticed before. That just sort of like ripples past in a wave. And then after about 30 minutes of rocking on the water, you see an object out ahead of you. From the cabin, you hear the unintelligible gibberish of the Newfoundland longshoremen that some of you are able to interpret as asking what exactly it is you're looking out for, and also seeming to indicate if that is maybe where you're trying to head, because he's not sure, because y'all just said out to the ocean, out to the lake. You didn't actually say where. Ahead of you is a tall and imposing metallic structure, slapped together relatively hastily by a bunch of different steel sort of gridiron. There's a term that I'm trying to think of, and I cannot think of the girders. Thank you. That looks to be a relatively old-looking oil derrick, just out in the middle of the lake. That wasn't visible from the lake shore, but now that you've been heading across for a while, you're able to see.
Well,
I would like to ask our boat person about that, and if he knows anything about the town and oil.
Make an own language roll.
Oh, because of the way he talks.
Yeah.
Anything for that for the extreme of the hard successes on the spot hidden, by the way?
No, nothing extra.
Okay.
I'm just gonna let that ride.
You are unable to interpret his ramblings back to you in answer to your question.
I just stare at him blankly.
May I try?
Yeah, make an own language roll.
yeah, I'll give that a shot as well.
Whew, barely.
Hard success.
Lewis and Jenny, you are able to tell. Honestly, he's not sure if there is as far as he knows, that the oil derrick has been abandoned since he's been out here. He's only been out here for about 20 years, but it's been abandoned since before then, as far as he's aware. So he's not. Nobody goes there. Not that he can tell, anyways.
Nobody ever goes in. Nobody ever comes out.
Yes, nobody ever comes out on account of the fact that nobody ever goes in.
Right. I didn't say it wasn't a tautology. Well, is there any place to put to shore? I guess that's not right. There's not a shore. Can we tie up? Can we dock? Dock?
He indicates affirmatively that you can dock at the oil rig if that is your chosen destination.
Lewis looks over with a little relieved smile and just sort of nods and gives Katie a thumbs up. Like, I found the word.
Katie nods back, still absolutely bamboozled as to what this guy had been saying.
All right. So, is it an actual dock, or are we just tying off because the?
So it's not an actual full-on dock.
We're just tying off to a platform or something.
Yeah,
like
functionally. Well, specifically, you're tying off to a ladder. Because he pulls...
Actually, we're probably not even tying off, because that would imply that the boat is staying, and I'm pretty sure that the boat is not staying.
The boat sidles up.
Him.
The boat sidles up, and he drops anchor. next to a ladder that's extended down
He
into
has
the water.
an anchor?
Yeah.
For a boat that goes across a lake?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like
any-
all
you-
boats are supposed to have anchors.
You use an anchor to stay in place. That's what the point of an anchor.
Yeah.
Well,
there are much smaller anchors.
I'm dumb and thought that anchors were only when you picked up a big thing and threw it over the side of your boat.
No, most anchors you don't throw over the side of the boat. They're just hung on the bottom, and you let go of a latch, and it drops down on a pulley chain.
You can tell that I'm a real boat head.
And an anchor could be
Motorhead
something.
for boats?
And an anchor could be as simple as something as a 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah.
Filled with concrete.
Yeah, which for smaller fishing boats, it typically is something relatively small, just like a concrete brick tied to a chain, functionally. But anyways, he drops the anchor, and right next to a ladder, and just indicates that that's pretty much the primary way to get up there. If you don't have a helicopter, which we don't.
Victor would
That
like to get
attitude,
off
yeah.
of the water and onto a place that maybe not completely stable, but at least more stable than this boat. And starts to
Like Lillian is scrambling off the boat.
All right, the two of you, since the two of you are trying to get off, get to a place where you're not seasick, I need you to both make climb checks.
fucking hate.
There's Fly.
I will spend the 15 luck it takes to succeed on that.
All right,
Fuck you.
Fall into the lake.
Lillian.
What if I push it?
If you push it, you'll fall into the lake.
That sounds like the
Okay.
more I'm using option. Let's push it.
All right. Presumably motivated by their desire to no longer be on this fucking boat, Lillian and Victor scramble up that ladder, and it takes them a little while. It takes about 5 minutes. It's about a 5-minute climb to get up to the platform proper. But you make it
Dear God.
hand over foot up a rain slick metal ladder. You make your way to the platform proper. Those the rest of you that are not seasick can climb up without having to make a roll.
Okay. I was trying to come up with a way to make it easier so I could succeed without rolling.
Yeah, no. It is a long climb, but the ladder is meant to be climbed and thus is relatively easy to climb if you're not having your inner ear assault your brain.
Before I leave, I will ask him how long we have. Is it okay if we take a little time? What time do you need to be headed back?
Make a own language roll.
I mean, we could always say
That's good.
circle back after this long.
He indicates
And
that
let him go about his
he
business.
indicates that he'll sit here and fish for. He tends to fish for a few hours, so he'll sit here and fish for, as long as. He says if it takes you more than 10 hours, he's probably going to head back to the shore. This is functionally the idea that you get.
I
Okay.
would like to. I think it's psychology. Empathy check.
Give me a psychology
Yeah,
roll.
May I do the same?
Sure, go ahead.
A hard success.
Ditto.
Hard to discuss both of you. It's hard to. He's hard to read because he's got this big, bushy white beard and a grizzled face that has seen more weather than any of you have seen in your lives. But he doesn't seem to be dishonest. He seems to be and it makes sense. Like he's going to be out here fishing anyways. He may as well fish here. It doesn't seem like the oil rig is active, so it's not going to be something that would drive fish away from the area.
Okay. Can I give you my number and you can call? I don't know if we get. I'll check actually. Are we getting cell reception out here?
You're not really getting cell reception out here, and also he doesn't have a phone on the boat.
Okay, fair. Oh well, you know what? Do you have a like a doo-doo?
He reaches over and clangs a bell, and you hear that you hear that stereotypical clang 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 clang. Ship's
patrol.
bell.
That's fun. Okay. Well, listen. If I mean, I don't think we'll be 10 hours, but if anything comes up and you need us back to the boat or anything like that, just just give a clang.
He nods
I don't like that sound.
as the lightning hits and the thunder begins to roll. And yeah, almost a few seconds after you say that, the rain begins to come pouring down.
Okay. Well, Lewis sort of fishes the hood out from the back of his backpack, pulls it up over his head. Yeah, okay. Well, good luck. Good catching. Okay, good talk. And Lewis turns with that and climbs up the ladder.
All right. So you climb up. Eventually, after about 5 minutes, the group of you are on top of this oil derrick. The rain has started to come down in heavy sheets, making both the metal under your feet, any rails you're trying to hold on to, slick and damp and cold. You can see lightning in the distance and hear thunder.
Is that why it takes 5 minutes to climb, or are we just really goddamn high?
It's really goddamn high.
Okay.
And climbing takes longer than you think because it's a very strenuous exercise. But yeah. Ting, 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 ting. On top of the platform that you're on right now, there is a sort of a 3-story structure that seems to go into where the oil rig is operated properly. Anyone who wants to can give me a. Let me see. What would be the appropriate role here? Give me an operate heavy machinery role. If anyone wants to. This is not to actually operate anything. This is to know about operating these sorts of things.
I mean, I'll give it a shot.
Sure, why not?
I can roll a D100 for you.
I like how nobody put points there.
So none of you have any.
In HR.
If I had more luck, maybe.
Then I would like to earn you education from having engineering classes.
You know what?
This is so that would be a valid argument. That would be a valid argument if it wasn't for the fact that oil derricks are very specific construction that isn't generally gone over in normal engineering classes. If it was something less specific, absolutely you could argue education. Okay. But in this particular case, it's very specific.
Do it, Craig.
Yeah, I already did. It's already
All
marked
right.
up.
Okay,
I've spent 25 luck that I'm certain I won't regret.
All right, you've been trying to lie. So
Lewis is officially our heavy machinery expert.
Mark that operate heavy machine skill as successful, because you know that this is an odd structure for an oil derrick. This is the actual like building structure itself doesn't need to be 3 stories, and honestly, it's too Art Nouveau. Honestly, like this is somebody who's taken brutalist architecture and applied it to just the command center of an oil rig, which is odd.
Yeah. Oh no, not more brutalism.
I am extremely excited for Lewis to roll a 1 on that improvement roll for heavy machinery at the end of session.
I know.
Will still be our heavy machinery expert.
I love that you think I'll still be here with my 3 luck. So Lewis comes up, topping the ladder, and says,
I hope you're topping the ladder. It would be embarrassing to bottom the ladder out here.
Hey, don't judge me. Hey, wow, that's odd. This whole kind of this whole AWE really has a thing for that type of architecture. You all notice that? Whew.
I don't think I can tell you one oil rig from another, but I will take your word for it.
Well, they don't usually have that. I had there was a time when I was thinking I actually would go out and work on an oil derrick for a while. So I was looking up a lot of stuff about it because it seemed like a really great way to find myself. And then I realized I didn't want to. But I did look at a lot of pictures of oil derricks.
Fair enough.
Yeah, most offshore oil rigs don't have any sort of exterior to them. It's mostly just rigs and girders and pipes all the way into the interior with like a vague bit of plywall, like drywall put up around the actual operating center in the middle. But everything else is all just open industrial piping and steel girders and things like that, with concrete pillars. This is very odd.
I think of these sorts of things being off the coast in the ocean.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I can tell you is that in the middle of a lake is a weird place for an oil derrick.
Katie is making this observation.
And then, I mean, it's already weird, and then to have that on it, it's kind of like a hat on a hat sort of deal.
Also,
Greg, we found our place.
To give you an idea about size, the length of that letter. By the way, if you click that link I just put in the Roll20 chat, you'll see a nice comparison of the size of an offshore oil rig to a cargo ship.
Oh,
yep, that tracks.
That's how high you climbed. Normally there's like an elevator. But this is not this is abandoned, so you couldn't ride the elevator. So you had to climb the ladder.
I would also like to point out that it's odd that we couldn't see a structure this tall from the edge of the lake.
Correct.
That's true.
I'll also point out that this one has stairs.
The one with the picture?
Oh, yeah, the one in the picture has stairs, not ladders, yes.
Yeah, that one has stairs, not ladders.
Also, there is precedence for oil rigs on lakes, because there's the Lake Pegnier disaster, where they drilled into a mine underneath the lake and drained the lake.
Oh, great.
That's hilarious.
I feel like I've heard about that before.
If I remember right, no one died. It just drained the lake and sucked down several barges off the lake. And
that's hilarious.
As you do.
That's why it's hilarious, because no one died, theoretically, hopefully.
Yeah.
It's like, must have been like somebody pulled out the plug from the bottom.
Yeah.
If it was also something like a salt mine to make it worse, so all the water just suddenly becomes brackish.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
And a freshwater
I mean, that's kind of an ecological disaster.
Yeah.
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 Anyways.
It's also a very good reason not to build oil rigs on lakes anymore.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's because that can happen.
It's a good reason not to build an oil rig over a salt mine.
Anyways.
Lewis pulls out two bottle from his there are 2 bottles of water.
2 waters a bottle?
From his dromedary bag and says, Lily and Victor, if this feels a little more solid, if y'all want to wash your mouths out, and just kind of holds them out.
Yeah. Victor will take a bottle of water and down it.
Lillian also does.
And yes, because oil rigs are anchored into the lake bed, or into the bed of whatever body of water they're standing in, you don't get the feeling like you're on the water, and the horizon and your stomach are at odds with each other. So
no, I'm sure it's anchored into some kind of body.
I don't want to know what kind.
God knows
but we're
what's
gonna find
there.
out.
If this thing is anchored on the top of some giant monster that starts to rise up out of the lake, I would rather be here than in the lake.
Also,
I appreciate your
plenty to
optimism
hold
in
on to.
saying if.
So there's 2 styles of offshore oil rigs, one of which is actually floating, and is tethered to the ground by the tubes for pumping oil.
Yeah. This one's not
So
floating.
this would be like the other kind, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea what Craig just said.
I have no idea what Craig just said either. Yeah.
I
What-
just said this one
what
seems
does-
like the other kind.
Yes.
What is the ground floor of an oil rig like? Like, is there a building to walk into and explore?
Yeah,
Is
that
there
was
stuff
that
around?
was the thing that Craig that Lewis noted, was that it's odd that there is a building on this thing.
Is there stuff that we should be looking at before we get to the building? I don't have.
aside from
contact.
the central 3-story building that's in the middle of this, you also have like large series of pipes and tubes and funnels, sort of decorating the outside, the exterior structure of this oil rig, where theoretically oil would be piped to various different locations, or water would be piped to various different locations. etc., etc. There is what seems to be some sort of generator shack off to one side that obviously is not on because there's no power, there's no lights or anything. You can see that there are lighting towers and the like all around, none of which are on. There are also, so to one side you can see a clearly designated generator shack. On another side you can see what seems to be a cargo area, loading, offloading, that sort of thing, with a bunch of loose oil barrels and also a whole bunch of, what are they called? The big steel square rectangles. The big steel rectangles that they put on cargo ships.
Shipping containers?
Those, yes. There's a specific term for them, but I can't think of what it is.
They're shipping crates.
I walk over in that direction, and because I'm still visible to the group, and I'm gonna look at them. Can you tell if they're locked by looking at them?
Yes,
C-Van.
there's a lock on the exterior.
Yeah. Sorry.
Is
Yes,
this
you can tell
something
they're
that you have a physical lock on, or is there a lock inside
On what?
There's a
the shipping crates?
Yeah, C-Vans
there's
is
a
what they're
physical
called.
lock on the outside.
And yes, there's a physical lock on the outside. It's typically it's one of those. There's a bar. It's a bar lock. So there's a bar that has a lever on it that locks over, and then exactly. There is not a padlock on these though.
So these are not locked.
No, they're not locked. They're closed but not locked.
I'm gonna alert the group to that.
C-Van is a specific, like, calling these things a C-Van is like calling a Coke because it's a soda.
Well, I am thrilled with the amount of nautical information we're getting. Maybe we can cut down on it a bit.
For the rest of the group to be narratively present before opening the crates and peeking.
I'm heading over. Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to Eli. He said we've got, 10 hours or so plenty of time to look around.
All right, with Ginny heading over, I'm going to open one of the crates.
I want to be out here for 10 hours. Let's see.
Yeah.
You open it, pull it open, and inside this crate are barrels.
The next
Inside
one.
the barrels.
We are
boxes.
opening up one of those barrels.
Okay.
Do you have a crowbar?
See?
We are.
Yes, actually. Hang on. Let me check my character sheet. I believe I literally do.
I think you do because we used it to open the barrel in Mart.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
I do. I do indeed have crowbar.
All right, so you use a crowbar to open the barrel. Everyone, make me a sanity roll.
Oh.
Wunderbar.
Yay.
Nope.
I'm afraid. Oh, I made it.
Oh my God, I did. Okay,
All
I'm
right.
letting it ride.
Any adjustments that you want to make?
No, I'm happy with my 7.
I definitely cannot spend 47 luck, so no.
I could spend 10, but I'd rather save it for something else because I have plenty of sanity to lose.
And just for fun here, I'm guessing you can't push sanity rolls? But if I
you
can...
cannot push sanity rolls.
Damn, because that's
Sanity rolls are also the one that you cannot spend luck on succeeding. You can only spend luck to reduce the sanity loss.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, I wasn't going to spend it on.
I was going to say, if
So-
I could push it and then take double sanity
Fortunately,
loss.
you pop open the barrel, and inside there is crude oil. No sanity
so
loss
great.
for failing. I just wanted to make you roll.
All right.
Well, Lillian comments it smells like home.
There's a lot of
I'm
oil where you
sorry.
come from.
I'm opening the next container.
Are
Lillian
we
is
sure
on.
it's crude oil?
Looks and smells like crude oil. Chung, 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 chung. Open the next one. Another thing full of barrels.
Open up a barrel.
Chung, chung.
All
More
right.
crude oil.
There's
Another-
No way
how
this
many
would
are
just be
there?
Sitting here, right?
There's like, if you sort of look around and count, there's somewhere between 50 and 100 C-Vans. Theoretically, all of them full of barrels of oil.
Can I just start, can Lewis just start going around and like shaking them a little bit to see if the others are all full? 'Cause
Bang,
it-
bang,
rather-
bang.
I mean,
Like
you got to try to shake them, and you can't move them. They're full of so much
Yeah.
thick, dense liquid. Yeah. dense, thick
Yeah,
wood.
that's my goal, I guess, is to see if any of them do move, meaning that they are empty or not totally full, at least.
No, they all seem full.
Okay.
How many more containers do you want to open up, Kathleen?
I'm going to go to one random one far from the 2 that I opened.
Okay.
And that one.
Ching, ching, ching. Full of barrels.
Well, I haven't found anything weird yet.
Well, hey, it was worth looking.
If need be, this is potentially useful, because if we need to burn this thing out, we now have some fuel.
And strictly speaking, if we're really inviting trouble onto ourselves, the trouble will probably show up when we decide to turn the generator back on.
I was hoping we wouldn't do that.
Well, if there's anything that requires the use of an elevator to go and find, we will probably have to at some point.
We can wait until we find the elevator.
Is there anything else outside? Can we do a quick sweep?
So it's generator. So there's generator room, cargo, pipes, a couple of outhouses.
Is there any notable signage on any of these pipes?
There is, yeah. It's all
serial numbers, basically.
Like serial numbers and values, presumably values of oil that's being piped to different locations for refinery.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the actual refinery itself is inside the building, according to what you're seeing.
That is unusual.
Yeah, I don't really ship oil off somewhere else to a specific refinery.
Sorry, canning, not refinery. The
Okay.
thing where they put the oil in the cans.
The cannery, you know.
The cannery. Wrong terminology. That was me having the wrong terminology, not.
Okay.
I mean, it's not entirely inaccurate, though. May not be the official term.
Yeah.
To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if an Eldritch oil rig also had an Eldritch refinery on board.
True.
And an Eldritch cannery.
They all just have signs that say, like, Mom's good old-fashioned canned oil.
Let's go get Eldritch canned, guys.
Are you gonna go try? Are you gonna head towards the building?
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
You head to the door that you can see closest to you, and it is locked with an electronic lock.
Okay, we didn't make it far.
I was about to say, there's the reason to turn the generator on.
I mean, there are windows. You could theoretically break in if you wanted.
I would like to theoretically break in, except not theoretically.
Are they locked?
Lily would like to just break in.
You can just
and not
smash them.
She doesn't even check. She just immediately takes something heavy and just smashes the window.
Give me a strength check.
Lewis tries the door. I know there's a lock on it.
The door does not open.
We're gonna be a mini boss.
Lillian just takes a stombaton and smacks a window.
Sorry, what am I rolling?
Strength checks for both Lillian and Jenny.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
It is their windows on an oil derrick. It's gonna be.
If Ginny fails,
Wow.
Ginny smash.
I'm a bad backup.
Lillian, you.
Ginny is dedicated to this.
Lillian, you smack the window with your baton, and it just bounces off because it is their windows on an oil refinery. They're
meant to withstand storms and air pressure.
Yeah, like these are really sturdy windows. Which is why, Jenny, instead of using a heavy object, you grab the glass breaker that you all had when you were rescuing people from a car, and use that.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
That was real smart, Jenny. I'm so glad you remembered we had that.
Thank you.
And yeah, you punch a hole. You use the little diamond tip pick end of the glass breaker, and punch a hole through the glass, and then knock it off and away.
Yep.
You clear the glass out and then clink against the bars, the reinforced bars on the inside of the window.
Are the bars going to prevent us from climbing in?
I mean, unless you can squeeze yourself down.
Why did you tell us there were windows we could break in through if you were planning on making it impossible to break in through the window?
Because Sen's an asshole.
Because the bars are on the inside, which is odd. I will admit.
No, bars can be on the inside, but are the windows? Can you see through the windows? Because then we can see the bars.
You couldn't see the bars through the windows. No.
Are they like iron or metal?
To be fair,
it's the same sort of like It's just. It's the same sort of. It's the same sort of metal as the rest of the platform itself is made out of. This this sort of rusty-looking reddish tinged metal.
Can I just fly one of those bars with the crowbar and see how weak they are?
Give me a strength check.
Yeah, I mean, if they're rusty, depending on how rusted they are.
Not good enough, but that might be good enough to tell if there's any weakness that someone else might be able to exploit.
You lean on it, and it's surprisingly sturdy. Like, it looks rusty, but it's not.
Vanessa's gonna walk over to Victor and hold out a hand. Let me try it.
Here, give it a shot.
Strength check.
Vanessa's gonna try. Seriously? No, I'm spending luck.
Do you want to spend luck, or do you want to push it?
What happens if she pushes?
You break the crowbar.
Listen, I'm the person who always says push it. Spend the luck.
I'm spending the luck.
I like how you're more concerned with the life of this crowbar than with the life of yourself.
That crowbar has a family.
Oh God! And a backstory and a name.
You spend the luck.
This crowbar has contributed more to the group than I have.
And
it deserves
you
to live.
Lean on it and you push, and it bends slightly, and you're able to bend the bar ever so slightly, but you can only get it enough to where it's like an extra half a foot wider than it was.
So it's not gonna snap off or
no, it's not
make enough
like
room
you could
for a person.
with time you could probably bend this thing enough that someone could squeeze through, but it's real dense.
Yeah, this is not going to be the way to go.
It probably isn't, but is it close enough to the door where we could conceivably, protecting ourselves against broken glass and so forth, reach in through the window and access the interior of the door?
If if there was like a switch on the side of the wall, yes, but it's not close enough to where you could actually get to like where the handle would be. No.
Okay. I mean, can I reach in and see if there is a switch on the inside of the wall?
Yeah. You reach in, feel around, make me a luck roll.
And that's where the window
bites
your arm off.
Hey, do you want me to make the luck roll?
Yes, please. Someone not me.
I'm gonna have a go at this actually.
Hey, that would have made my luck.
Extreme success. You reach in, you find a light switch, and you flip it, and nothing happens.
And nothing happens because the generator's off.
Yeah.
All right, let's go get this. I hate this place so.
I'm gonna flip the light back off again before we go to the generator.
Good. Yeah, you can feel there's definitely like some sort of electric panel there. You can't really see. The other problem is you can't see, like even with the window busted open, you can't really see inside. It's pitch black in there because
it's absolutely dark in there. Yeah,
absolutely dark.
Well, can we actually?
It feels like there's some other electric like buttons and stuff around the light switch, but you can't tell what they are by feel alone. And obviously, they don't do anything.
I'm gonna turn on the flashlight on my phone and have a look.
I was just gonna say, hey, could everybody check your inventory and see if anybody had?
I can get my hand in. I can look through the bars. What's in the room?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you using the? Oh, I see. You're just looking in the room.
Yeah.
You see racks of barrels in your immediate view. Racks of like steel racks holding these same sorts of barrels.
No, that is a good point actually.
Like
as Victor
area.
turns on his smartphone, turns on the flashlight, and uses the camera to try and get an angle to see what.
There you go.
Between the two, I can point the flashlight at it, and you can point the camera at it.
Yeah. Or you can both. Now you're thinking with smartphones. Using the camera.
Just about to be really snarky.
Using the camera, you can see that there's like a series of electric panels that looks like the electric lock like release mechanism and opening, and like the door opens and closes electronically. And it seems like from what you can tell, there's like a passcode. There's some sort of passcode device, and then there's a couple of other like overrides and like the sort of override that you would have like for like a handicap door where you'd hit the button and it would open the doors automatically, that kind of thing.
Is the passcode is to get in from the outside?
Yes.
Okay,
But
so now that we found the
inside
panel
presumably has a
inside, we
release
don't
button.
need the passcode.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can
You
use
could hit the
code.
you could hit the but you could hit the thing on the inside.
I was worried you were telling me you need a passcode even if you're leaving the building.
No, 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 no.
All right, time for generator.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
You head over to
Take
the
a
generator.
second.
Nope, go ahead.
Before we leave the window, I'm gonna take a second and just sort of, when everybody quiets down, and if everybody doesn't, Lewis will just kind of hold up a finger, and I'm just gonna listen to see if, after we've been breaking windows and shining lights and stuff, if there's any sound coming from inside.
Make a listen check with a penalty die for the storm outside.
Sure.
Hit that indicator. I will also make that listen check because that's a valid concern. Penalty die.
Oh. It won't let me for some reason.
Interesting.
Just roll a d10.
I'm just gonna roll a d10. Okay.
I still succeed, even with the penalty.
I could have spent my 3. I can't spend 23.
74. So Victor, listening in, it's hard to hear over the storm, but and everyone else, but you mostly just hear echoing, like the sound of the storm echoing
The sound
inside.
of the storm echoing echoing through the inside. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you're hearing at the moment.
Not hearing a lot of motion on the inside right now.
Lewis shrugs and just says, I don't know. It's been a weird however long it's been.
Oh no, it's valid. You're starting to think like a field agent.
Oh,
Yep.
Thanks. Well, you know what? You all are great teachers, great examples. So right back at you.
Yeah, just assume any situation you walk into is going to be dangerous, and be on the eye for anything weird.
Well, I think I've definitely got the first one down.
All right, let's go check that generator. And like I said, I'm going to very strongly assume that once we power this place back on, the weird shit's going to start happening.
All right, you go
How
over
does
to the
Lillian seem like she's doing as we're walking over?
I did not catch the first part of you saying that.
What's that?
I didn't catch the first part of what you said.
Yeah.
Oh, I just said how does Lillian seem like she's doing?
Dejected at not being able to break the window.
Fair. Okay. All right.
It's like,
well, here's your opportunity because the generator shack is locked.
Locked. Does it have a
that
passcode?
That one's kind of is it a physical lock or an electronic lock?
This one's a physical lock. It's got a padlock on it.
Okay. And I just
Okay, we
bash
just
that
hit it.
off with the crowbar. Yeah.
Strength
We
check.
just hit it.
Here, I hand the crowbar to.
To Vanessa.
You don't
Look at
even
this.
have
Can
to
you-
be terribly strong to
Can
break
you
a
beat that
lock.
lock off real quick?
With a
I
bonus-
should be able to.
Strength check with a bonus die
Phrasing.
because you got a crowbar.
depending on the lock, all you have to do is bump it slightly from the bottom and it'll undo
It
itself.
just pop open.
Right.
You don't
That's
have
a
to
lock
be
to
This is
break.
hard.
this is
You
a
don't have to try
slightly
hard to get rid of
this
the
is a
lock.
slightly heavier padlock that wouldn't work on that. But fortunately for Vanessa, she just puts the fork tip of the crowbar on the padlock, raises and drops the crowbar, thus removing the padlock from the bolt. Ting 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 ting. And you open the door.
Hey, nice work.
Inside,
She does her best to make it look effortless.
it does. Inside, you see a large, like the generator shack is basically the generator itself. Like this is a fairly large industrial generator that is built into the walls of the facility. And on the far side, there is a little bit of emergency lighting right above one of the like an old school lever switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, or knife switch.
is it-
Knife switch, I think is what it's called. Yeah.
I think they are called knife switches. Yes.
Bragg, if Lewis is still paying attention, Lillian's now even more dejected. Lillian's questioning is like, you're thinking to herself, I should really go to the gym when we get back.
Yes, a dual-throwed knife switch.
Is there signage indicating that's like main power generator or anything?
Looks like it, yeah. And you sort of intuit that the emergency lighting being over the switch is probably the reason it's there.
All right, everybody. Everyone ready for potential nonsense?
I'm gonna ready my weapon.
Knife in hand, gun in other hand.
Mm-hmm.
All of you, Ginny, Lillian, Kathleen, Lewis, Vanessa, Stevie, and Victor, all ready your weapons.
Stevie?
Excuse me?
Who's with
Stevie?
us?
You look around. You could have sworn there's nobody there. But for some reason, all of you, for a second, could have sworn there was a seventh person and that their name was Stevie.
It's like big John dies at the end energy.
That's thank you for convincing me that we're now dealing with a false Hydra. As Victor flips the latch.
Listen, based on recent viral trends, my mind just immediately went to Fleetwood Mac songs. So
I would propose.
she is a full-on fucking witch. I'm just saying.
Sorry, what was that, Jack?
I would propose that we periodically count off.
Yep.
Fine.
I'm counting 6 right now.
Yeah. If that
Should
number
we-
ever changes away from 6, be concerned. Especially if it goes up. If it ever goes up, be very concerned.
Right.
I want to know all changes.
Let's
Because
to that end,
went down.
let's all pick a number so we can all
Kate,
count off.
Katie just points at everybody. Ginny's 1, Victor's 2, Lewis is 3, Vanessa is 4, Lillian is 5, and Katie's 6. Everybody's
Seems
got
right.
a number. When anybody says count off, you say your number. In order.
Count
We
off.
forget our number.
Don't forget your
Remember
number.
it.
Who just said that?
What's your number, Vanessa?
It's 4.
Who just said count off?
You did.
You look around. Nobody's.
Don't you
around.
fuck it. I will. I am holding something with a diamond tip. I will use it.
Did
Wasn't
we all
it you?
hear that in game?
No.
Yeah, you all heard someone say count off. Ginny's the only one that
And
reacted
it wasn't
to it.
any of us.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
No, it was-
I legitimately out of character thought it was Jeremy.
No, yeah, it said Sen actively said
Sen
count
said
off
it,
in
but
character as
did it
someone else.
perfectly because it's in the middle of conversation.
Yeah,
I just happened to catch it.
yeah, so did I. Victor has flipped the knife switch, by the way.
The lights come on. You all hear the sound of electricity thrumming through the old derrick. The lights come on. The outrigger lights go on. The lights inside the building come on because they were already in the on position when you flipped them off earlier, Kathleen. The
Well, the rest of them were, but I made sure to put that one down.
You had flipped the switch and then flipped it back.
you flip.
You had flipped the switch and then
So
flipped it back.
fun fact: the on-off directions of a light switch do not actually correspond to whether or not they turn a light on or off. It just corresponds to whether or not that particular contact has been flipped or not. And
Correct.
so, at any point in time,
So
if it's
there's
connected
a
to another
second
light,
switch somewhere.
yeah, if there's another switch somewhere else that was flipped on, even if it was down, it could still be on for that particular instance. Because light
You
switches,
flipped it once and then flipped it back, but it back was into its on.
because light switches are just knife switches with a user interface.
I would argue
Yeah.
knife
Yeah.
switches are also a user interface.
Well, I mean, with a thing that makes it look like it's not a knife switch. Anyways, as opposed to a knife switch, which in this metaphor would be code.
Yeah.
But yes, the entire rig lights up. And to answer
Well-
Ginny's question, there's still only 6 of you.
All right, well, keep an
Anything
eye out for our
running?
ghost member.
Sorry, anything running as far as
Other
what?
than the other than the generator, do we hear anything else?
I mean, you hear the electricity coming on in the rig as a whole. You don't hear anything like big machinery turning on. No.
The pipes aren't active or anything.
No.
The canning facility doesn't swing into action or anything.
Not as far as you can tell.
Okay. Well, let's go check the interior then.
And that's the part that's brutalist. The brutalist architecture is the canning structure.
Yeah, the actual like where all the operations of the oil rig itself would be is that sort of weird 3-story brutalist structure.
Victor keeps his Desert Eagle in one hand as he walks back.
I'm gonna do a quick count in my head of everybody around me.
Yeah. Okay. Katie, Ginny, Lillian, Vanessa, Lewis, Victor, Stevie. Yeah. No, everyone's here.
Okay. I'll stop. And sort of looking down, goes, "Hey, Stevie, you think it's gonna stop raining?"
I'm gonna look around. When the name Stevie is said, does that sound weird to me?
I mean, you don't know that there's a Stevie with you, no.
Anytime anybody counts, I'm counting. I count
6 people.
6 people. Six people. I'm counting 6.
Katie, how about you be 7 when we count off? Stevie, you be 6.
I'm not 7 when I count off.
Lewis, you don't know who Stevie is. Stevie's not there. Like, this is...
Okay. So I don't have that mental disconnect?
No, you know that there's no Stevie, but you counted a Stevie.
Okay. Do I, in character, have the memory of counting a Stevie?
You have the memory of counting a Stevie, but there's no Stevie there, and you don't know who Stevie is.
Right. No, he's acting like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I just want to know if that's like out of character weirdness, or if that's something that Lewis would be aware of. Because if it's something Lewis would be aware of. Okay. So he did say that thing up to Stevie. No response though, right?
Right.
Okay.
That would be a test to see if Stevie responds when you counted him.
I'm gonna check my phone for a Stevie. Or a Steve or Steven.
You've got like 7 different Steves in your contact list. You have an extensive contact list.
Curse my avid social life.
I will check my phone. Do I have any?
No, you're significantly less social than Lewis.
I have no social life, so.
No Stevens?
Victor, like when we get back to the building, Victor sweeps the inside now that the lights are on with the gun just to make sure nothing's moving before he reaches into open the door.
This seems to be the storage facility for empty barrels, as far as you can tell. There's racks and racks of empty barrels. A few different computers that are also like computer stations that all seem to be turned off. A couple of different like valve interactions, and a large chain grid elevator in the middle of the facility.
I'm going to turn on a computer.
You turn on there's a these are old like CRT monitors, and it's like sort of has a vaguely green tint to it, and you're getting a green static effect functionally. It doesn't seem like the actual like hardware of the computers is functional anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, these have been sitting here for a while. I'd be surprised if many of them still worked.
They've been sitting here for at least 20 years.
Hey, Lillian, can you make anything about this tech? This is kind of your wheelhouse. Anything? You said it looks like about 20 years?
Well, the sailor said he'd been here for at least 20 years,
Yeah.
and he was here before he was. So.
Well, that doesn't.
Well, yeah, that doesn't mean
necessarily mean anything.
It doesn't, but.
Lillian
But
takes a look at the computer.
What? It doesn't.
And
It
tries
doesn't
to
mean anything, but it's
Yeah,
a
it's
good
a computer's
baseline
check.
to consider until you see something that's on.
Can I forget how that works in this system. Can I help?
Helping would just be giving a bonus die.
Can I do that?
Sure.
I really want Lillian to succeed at something.
I mean, Lillian succeeded already, but now Lillian succeeded slightly better. With a 71, because I have an 81. As far as you can tell by looking at it, you assume that the hard drives were ripped out of these, or whatever. These are old enough that they probably used data reel, like tape reels, as far as their hard drive functionality. So all the like this is just electronics with no like software behind it at this point.
Okay. And can I have an idea of like when these were commonly used?
Over 20 years ago.
Okay. It's like, yeah, it looks
the trick is business, enterprise, like corporation and corporate business always moves about 15 years behind technology. So it's like this is something that would have been commonly used 20 years ago, which means it's 40-year-old technology. Right?
Right.
like the stuff like close to 40-ish, but it would have been common 20-ish years ago. But it looks like they've taken the actual like data, like the equivalent of the hard drive. These don't use hard drives yet, but
Do you think they took it, or do you think this is kind of set dressing?
I mean, either's valid. We are still in a monster's dream.
I guess one way or the other, not anything that's going to be particularly helpful to us, huh?
Yeah. Let's see if there's anything useful here before we elect to take the elevator down to the depths of hell. Victor says as he starts to like look around and see if there's anything.
You look down, like
here.
you can see the ocean below you, and like the big long drill pipe that goes down from the center of the complex. That elevator goes up, not down.
It does go
Okay.
up. Okay, cool.
That's what I thought.
I was like, it either goes up or it goes all the way down to the bottom of the ocean floor and deep below. I don't know whether there was like a full shaft that went all the way down. Yeah,
What does it smell like in here?
Trying real hard not to
Smells like
Contra full shaft.
Smells like wet metal, rain, and a bit of ozone.
Okay.
Victor's gonna sweep the floor and see if there's anything useful before we.
Yeah. Katie's gonna help.
Doesn't seem to be. There doesn't seem to be much in here other than what you've seen already. This is not. This is where this is like storage for the oil barrels. Looking at the technology that you see here, it doesn't look like canning the oil was automated. Looks like that was probably manual. So you're not seeing. There's not a lot of like big mechanical aspects.
Are there
to this.
stairs, or is the only way out of here other than that door this elevator?
There. It looks like there are stairs, but they're fold up. You know, like sort of attic, accordion chair, like
stairs.
Yeah, like accordion stairs.
They're out of hand's reach.
Yeah, they're out of reach from the first floor.
Should I don't want to violate Rule 2, so nobody should stay alone. But maybe some of us should go up and some of us should stay here just in case.
If one of us were to give the other a boost, would we be able to reach that ladder?
You'd be able to reach it, but there's no latch on this side. It looks like it kicks down from the top.
Okay, so we wouldn't be able to get it down even with a boost.
Right.
Oh, wait, we couldn't climb the ladder when we were boosted up to it and then kick it down?
There's no ladder. It's an accordion staircase, so that it folds down.
Yeah.
And whatever handle, like you can see the spot where there should have been a handle at one point in time, but it's not there.
Gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Crowbar. Can we get the crowbar in there?
You could try to get the crowbar in there. Yeah.
I will if Vanessa can give me a boost, I'll see if I can try and lever the stairs down.
All right, strength check from Vanessa, and then following a success on that, strength check from Victor.
I can help. I used to make pyramids and cheer all the
Critical
time.
success.
Vanessa is easily able to pick Victor up and hold him up on his shoulder.
One-handed.
Victor?
I throw him.
You dice.
Victor, however,
Wait, what is Victor's strength? Yeah.
would you like to
I'm not
push?
a lot
Would you like to
stronger
push
than
that?
Victor.
Push it.
What's the
push it,
consequence of
push it,
pushing?
You will
push it,
break the
push it.
crowbar.
We need that crowbar.
We also need to get up there.
The thing is, we can still just take the elevator. Like, this is just me trying to avoid taking the elevator.
Yeah.
So
We don't want to be on a death trap.
I am not going to push this.
Yeah,
No
so
one
from
wants to
what
play
you can
pick or
what you can
bar.
tell as you're trying to, it's stuck. It might be locked, honestly. Like you can't tell from the side if it's locked or not, but it is stuck at the very least.
That's not
Having trouble?
serving. Yeah, it's not serving. Let me down.
All right.
All right. Unless someone else wants to give it a shot, probably gonna have to take the elevator to get that.
Like I said,
I will not do better.
Should we split up? Half of us stay down here, half of us go up, just in case.
Yes.
I don't know about all that.
I just figured if something
What's the
terrible
benefit of
happens to
staying
the
down
elevator.
here?
What?
What's the benefit of staying down here?
Well, if something terrible happens to the elevator, we still have half the team to try to complete the mission.
Okay, I'm sold.
If we're splitting up, I recommend one gun, one tech, and one person with good eyes.
I'll be in eyes.
I'll go.
All right.
All right.
I'll go.
Vanessa.
I'll go.
Ginny and Katie?
Vanessa, Ginny, and either Katie or Lillian, I would say.
Katie will go either way. I mean, go or not go.
Right.
Yeah, so Vanessa, Ginny, and either Lillian or Katie, whichever one would rather.
Sounds like Katie wants to go.
Okay, I was just, if Drevian had a preference
Lillian does not
off
have a
the
preference.
table.
I was actually saying, Lillian, there might be computers that are going to be functional up there. If there's any computers that are actually functioning up there,
You'd be more useful than I am.
Your
Okay.
computer expertise might be useful.
Okay.
Okay.
So Lillian, Vanessa, and Ginny go over, open up the crosshatch grate, step inside, close it. There's like a dangling control that has an up and a down button on it. Grab it, click the up button. There's that heavy analog click of a thing going in, and the elevator goes up.
Victor, while the elevator goes up, Victor just offers a salute to Vanessa and then goes to take up a guard position.
Yep.
That means
We're not
we've
going to
got
follow.
group-
We are not going to follow those three just yet.
We've
As
got
after, go ahead.
Wait, Katie wants to establish the
Yeah.
numbers of each group
Go ahead.
before as we split up.
Sure.
Your group has 1, 4, 5. That's what you count off. That's a success. Our group has 2, 3, 6. When we count off, that's a success.
Wait, which am I? I thought I was 1 earlier.
Yeah. So you're in group 1, 4, 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
5, 1, 4, 5.
So the elevator takes 1, 4, and 5 up. After about 5 minutes, the elevator comes back down empty.
And then Gore is just
going to
shot
assume
out the side.
That means they got off and are on the next floor up.
Hey guys,
No response.
Walkies.
Victor will check his walkie and see. Hey, you guys still up there?
No response.
Ah, fucking wonderful. All right.
anything on the elevator?
Nope.
Any sounds from above? Footsteps?
Because I'm electing
Not
to
that you're
make
hearing.
a sticky note of this, can I get the numerical assignments? 1 is Virginia, 3 is Victor, 2 is...
1 is Virginia, 2 is Victor, 3 is Lewis, 4 is Vanessa, 5 is Lillian, 6 is Katie. I did it based on the order y'all are in my screen.
Okay, cool.
Lewis just goes, count off?
No, 1, 2... No, you're 3.
You're 3.
Lewis.
Yeah, 3. You just said 1 and 2.
So Victor said no 1. I'm
Oh,
2.
okay. All right.
6.
3. You don't have a 4, 5, 6. Okay.
So these, I'm assuming the accordion stairs are folded up such that we cannot, like, there is no getting past them unless we
unless you unlock
them.
Yeah, unless you unlock it from above. Yeah.
Can I spot a locking mechanism?
Not through the ceiling, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would be on the other side of the accordion stairs. So.
And also, there should be a handle on it, but that handle is just gone.
Yeah.
It didn't fall, so they got up and got off. They might need our help. I think we should probably go.
I am hesitant to follow the same way they went up until we hear back from them.
Yeah, but who knows what no radio response means? It could be anything.
That's why I'm hesitant. No radio response might mean they dream shifted. And I would like to try a different method of getting up if we can come up with one.
I'm not
before attempting to follow them directly in case the same thing happens to us. Did we see a ladder anywhere?
Yeah, was there a ladder on the exterior?
Only that goes down.
Only to get up to the main
that's
platform.
not usable. It's built in.
Yeah. Victor looks around.
Are any of the shipping containers outside in view of a window on the second floor?
They are, but they're not close enough that you could use them to get to the thing. Yeah.
Well, are they?
You could theoretically.
Are they close enough that I would be able to see through with a flashlight easily, or are they far enough away that using a flashlight would just reflect off the window?
It would just reflect off the window.
Okay.
You could theoretically like the elevator itself is like open, like so you could theoretically climb up instead of like taking the elevator up. You could climb up the shaft if you wanted.
You know, I'm willing to give that a go.
Okay. That makes you more comfortable.
Are you all willing to come along? Because we're not splitting up further.
I will point out that climbing this shit is not going to be easy. Okay, mechanically it's going to take a roll. I don't think any of us is better than 20 on climb.
Yeah, it will take a roll because it's like it's like metal grating. It's not ladder.
And I don't think a fall from halfway up that mesh is going to feel good landing onto the bed of that elevator.
So from the top of the elevator to the bottom of the next floor up, how far is that actually?
Gauging it based on the size of the elevator and the distance that you see, it looks like it's probably about 20 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not a fall. That's not a fall you want to make onto hard steel.
You saw it disappear, go beyond sight, and then come back down.
Katie, listen, I want to make sure you know that we're on board with you, and I understand that this is important. If you really want to climb, I'll climb it with you.
We sent capable people upstairs. I'm not knowing what's going on. This could be something they're going to solve in the next 5 minutes. Or it could be something that if we follow them directly, we're dooming them.
Can I look around and see if there's a built-in call panel for the elevator?
Give me a luck roll.
Okay. Weirdly, no.
There is, but it's like right next to the door. It's like one of those things where it's like you would lean against it to call down the elevator if someone was on it. The kind of thing that you would use to call when they had like gauging based on how the elevator is designed. It probably had somebody whose job was to stand in the elevator and bring it up and down as needed. So the fact that it came back down on its own is a little weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But so before I make this suggestion in character, I just want to be clear what Lewis's understanding is. Does it look like we could send it up and then potentially call it back down on its own?
No. You could call someone that is in the elevator further up and have them bring it down. And from what you can tell, If this was a normal elevator,
be the kind of device that cannot be operated unless you are inside of it.
Unless someone is inside it, yes.
Damn it, Stevie stole the elevator.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, you haven't sensed Stevie since the elevator went up.
Which means if Stevie's anywhere,
Stevie might have gone with group 145.
Yeah, I was about to say Stevie might be with the other half of the group. If our ghost friend is still around.
I guess I'm wondering, what if there's no way for them to get the elevator back? Maybe they're up there waiting for us so they can come down.
Or Stevie brought it back down. Yeah, I don't know.
Sure. Stevie, can you go up?
No reaction.
And he says that and just kind of like shrugs at the other two.
I'm gonna step
worth a shot.
Just out. I'm gonna open the door and step just outside, so I'm still in sight. Outside, and try the walkie again, just in case. Just in case.
Step out into the rain. Rain comes pouring down on you. Try the walkie. No reaction.
I'll poke a head out and just go. Hey, Katie, I'm about to yell. I didn't want to scare you, but I thought maybe if the windows are open. Okay, is that okay? Hey guys! And he just screams as loud as he can.
No reaction.
All right. Wherever they are, it's not the same place we are. And we have to decide if they're going to get out of it on their own or if we're going to follow and risk it being an unsolvable situation.
While I have every confidence in all of their abilities, we are dealing with some fucked up eldritch shit, and I feel like once we hit dimensional delineations like we're hitting here, we ought to be in the same like spatial area as each other.
Yeah, I have to say I agree. The other thing, Katie, I feel like I already know what you're gonna say, but I just want to throw it out. You know, no wrong ideas, anything like that. I'm just gonna throw it out. Rule 2 aside, you know, I think you two are better in a scrap than I am. Maybe I could get on, just try to go up and come back down. You know that's my intent. If I don't come back down, then we have our answer. Or at least you two would.
I hate to say it, but I do think that's a good idea because, no, that wouldn't answer.
You disappear one by one up the elevator.
I just want to say out loud that my concern is that we may very well just be feeding ourselves directly into something's stomach, and this is not a route to a solution.
I get it.
But I will go.
No. No, you should stay, because I think if anybody is going to get us, you two have the whole extra, weird juice from the base. I don't know, your training, and I just, let me just ride it up and I'll come back down. Because if anybody's going to do it, I think you two, if it's going to come down to two people, I think it should come down to the two of you. So I'll just go up and I'll come back down. I won't even step off. We'll just confirm that works.
Would the elevator moving trigger my rocks?
Yes.
Okay.
All the things that I could get from that.
Unless they were within unless they were all within the elevator.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. If they were all within the elevator, then no, they wouldn't trigger the rocks.
I'm going to. If we go with that, are we going with that?
Do you want to check the candles?
Yeah, we're good. We're getting out the candles.
The candles are lit as fuck.
Of course they're lit as fuck. They've been lit as fuck this whole time. But we checked.
Right. Yeah. Why don't Victor? Are you okay with that? I think that's.
Yeah, it's probably his best operational procedure right now.
When Lewis goes in, I'm going to ask him to hold out his hands and hold them still.
Yeah.
I'm going to put one rock in his hand and two rocks in on the floor of the one rock in his hand, one rock in his shoe, and one rock on the floor of the um elevator. That way, maybe if he dimensionally shifts and the other one doesn't, it will tell us something. Or they'll all dimensionally shift. Or I don't know. We might get something.
Okay.
What are the floors like in here?
It's a metal grate, so you can see directly down below it.
Okay. Then I'm gonna wedge it in somewhere so it's
terrible for roller skating.
Yes.
I will not change shoes then. Katie?
All right, I'm ready.
Can I have a hug?
Yes, you get a hug. You absolutely get a hug. We'll come after you.
Okay. Hey, or don't. Listen, if I don't come back down, don't. You guys figure something else out, okay?
If you don't come back down, there's not a lot else that we can do other than go to the same place that you are, because you're going somewhere else, and that's where the action is.
Or maybe blow this whole place up.
I don't think blowing this whole place up is going to do a damn thing.
Maybe you could spill all the oil on the surface of the lake and light that on fire. That'd probably mess up whatever's being blown.
Figure it out based on what happens with you.
Okay. All right, you guys look after each other, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And Katie? That's a real big rock you put in my shoe.
Well, don't move.
Okay.
Won't stab you.
Okay.
We'll poke you, not
Wait,
stab. It wasn't going to
stab.
Does it
stab? Is it a magic stabby rock?
The word was poke. The word was poke.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, we got a lot of magical stabby stuff recently. Okay, I'm going.
You hit the button?
Yep.
You hit the button, and all of you watch as the floor underneath Lewis opens and he drops. Your ward goes off.
What the fuck?
As Lewis drops towards the water. Do the two of you do anything? The door's still open.
Can I try and catch him?
Seriously?
You can try.
Can I try and catch him?
Did I hit the wrong button?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
Victor, you're trying to catch him. Kathleen, are you trying to catch him?
Here for this.
Kathleen's instinct is to follow him.
All right, so the two of you try to catch him. And all three of you go through the floor of the elevator, and that's where we're going to take our break as three people plummet to their deaths. If you're watching, please. If you're watching, when we take our break, you take your break. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. And we're back. A dinosaur story. Now, before we continue, having brought us back from the break, it is very important to remind both my players and the audience that I never lie, and all of my questions are relevant.
I would like to call bullshit.
In the context
what
of being...
What kind of crab
in the context
are you most...
of being the keeper for Call of Cthulhu.
What tarot card do you most associate with?
That was relevant. All of it was relevant.
It wasn't.
It was relevant to the hallucination at hand.
That sentence needs to have its very own fact checker.
So, one at a time, and I will indicate to you which. I need each of you to describe to me what outfit your character would be wearing if they were the same age that they are now, but instead suburban housewives and house husbands in 1997. Starting with Craig.
Fuck, is it exactly the same? Because I think it's probably exactly the same.
I think Victor is literally exactly the same.
No, you said 97.
1997.
Do I have kids?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like I'm a hip dad. Or at least think I am, which is not the same thing. So he's definitely rocking like a flannel shirt rolled up all the way up and some Jinkos.
Okay. Holly.
I was so hoping you wouldn't say me next. I'm thinking she'd be in full grunge with probably like a band shirt on.
Okay.
And sensible shoes, hair pulled back.
Scrunchy?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, like a neon green scrunchie.
So like a Pearl Jam or a Soundgarden t-shirt? Maybe Alice in Chains?
Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots.
Foo Fighters.
What 1990s bullshit are you talking about?
What did you say?
What? Foo Fighters were in the 1994.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about Blue Oyster Cult over there.
Blue Oyster Cult, Don't Fear the Reaper is still popular and burning for you.
But it's not. You are not where. No.
I will say, I wouldn't be surprised if like a kid today was wearing a Blue Oyster Cult shirt, because that's the shit now, is to wear old retro shirts that you haven't heard of. But back in the 90s, you wore current bands.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah. You wore grunge shit. You wore
So like
Pearl Jam, Nirvana.
Let's go with like Pearl Jam.
Okay.
Retro wasn't cool in the 90s.
Right.
STP.
Jeremy.
Now I want to be clear.
Uh-huh.
You said 90s housewife.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right?
Yes.
Housewife and house husbands. But
housewives and house husbands, but yes.
Right, of course.
I'm talking white picket fence, suburban, slightly light blue house.
Right.
But 90s, not 50s.
Yes, in the 90s.
So I am thinking like somewhat oversized sweater. Like pleated like gray pants. A little high-waisted. Probably heeled sandals.
Okay.
And a belt that is a little bit too wide to be fashion sensible.
Right.
In any other era. It worked for the 90s. I can't explain. And it looked good in the 90s. It just doesn't look good in any other era.
I had a crush on this mom.
The wide belt. The wide belt works with the high-waisted pants and either the loose-fitting top or the crop top, like the tied-up crop top. But they don't look like anything else.
Like bandana hair.
Yes.
Yeah, like I
very much so.
This was my friend's mom that I had a crush on.
Yep, this was everybody's friend's mom that they had a crush on.
You've just described Stacy's mom.
No, Stacy's mom is Rachel. What's her name?
Yeah. Stacy's mom was a supermodel in a video. This is legitimately the mom that you had crushes on if you were in the moms in the
William
and teenager.
I legitimately think that Victor's outfit is almost completely unchanged. It's still like the white button-up, sleeves rolled up, vest, dress
that
pants.
Is very
boots.
90s.
Yeah. Men's fashion doesn't change too terribly much for the past decade or so.
Nope.
I think the only real difference is his driving gloves aren't there and his rings aren't there because his rings are more modern.
Yeah, you don't have the driving gloves. Probably your suit's probably more, honestly, probably more of a double-breasted suit, like a double-breasted jacket or something like that instead of a more modern fitted slim fit outfit.
Yeah, but the general look is
because for some
same.
reason in the 90s we wanted everyone to look like a box. Drevian.
Brilliant blue sundress and calf sandals.
Okay. Jack.
Like a cardigan and jeans. Think Piper Hollowell from Charmed.
Yep.
So each of you,
I will say, by the way, that outside of the 70s, which is the only other era that this works, the 90s is the decade of fashion that actually still works today.
Mm-hmm.
Like every other era of fashion doesn't work in the modern era. I'm sorry, they just don't.
Except for double-breasted suit shirts or suit jackets.
No, that's not specific to a specific era, though. That's just universal.
Honestly, those didn't work in the 90s anyways.
Yeah.
No, I will say it doesn't work with that attitude.
So, each of you steps out of your front door onto your expertly manicured front lawn on a cul-de-sac that you live on, in this lovely collection of pastel-colored houses.
I legitimately have to ask, is it just the outfits that are different? Because Victor does not look like a 1990s man normally.
Just the outfits at the moment, yeah.
So Victor still has his full, 5 o'clock shadow chin beard, hair pulled back, streak dyed red in a ponytail.
Yes, everything else is the same. It's just the outfits that have changed. You all step out onto your expertly manicured front lawns, white picket fence, pastel-colored houses with pastel-colored children and pastel-colored neighbors. In this cul-de-sac that you all live on, apparently. Step out to the front gate, next to the mailbox with a cup of coffee or tea in hand, depending on individuals' tastes or preferences. Look at each other and then realize that you didn't just go up an elevator or fall off of an oil rig.
I feel like
I just have our memories.
You still have your memories, yeah.
So
you remember.
So we do realize that there's a disconnect.
You don't remember how you got to this point, but you do remember the last thing 3 of you remember, at least, is falling out of an elevator, and the last thing the other 3 of you remember is going up an elevator.
I feel like I just stepped into a very specific part of Fallout 3.
I'm assuming we are in the Thing's dreams.
Are we another layer down then?
Probably.
I'm just glad we're not falling. I will also interject as Craig. I hate that the 90s is now retro. So fuck you very much for that one.
This is the true horror of Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, here's the scary part, Craig. You know what else is retro?
Nope.
The 2000s.
Nope.
The knots.
You are categorically incorrect, because that's 5 years ago.
Yeah, not 20 years ago. Yeah.
No.
Nope.
He's saying the 00s were 5 years ago.
They obviously were.
Let's get back
so
to
are the
the fun
10s.
kind of horror.
So yes,
I'm sorry. Can we back up to the point where you said you were falling down the elevator shaft?
Not necessarily the shaft. There wasn't really any more elevator shaft.
How long has it been for you all?
you literally just
Yeah.
your memory was going up the elevator and then now walking out of your house.
How?
There's no bridging. There's no transitory memory either, so it's very jarring.
What do we have any memory of? From Lewis's perspective, hit the button, falling. How far do I recall falling before I walked out the door?
You got to the point where you were shitting yourself, and then there's a cutoff there, and now you're walking out the front door.
So I was full vertical, head down, and now I am standing up.
Yes.
So I traveled back in time about 3 days, and now I'm
gonna say.
I'm glad we didn't hit the water.
Yeah, you all had been gone, I think, almost about 10 minutes.
I mean, if this is a dream, it's likely that you have hit the water.
Yeah, but that's a dream too.
Yes, but I haven't felt it, so I'll take that.
We're not dead either. Oh,
are you sure we're not dead?
No,
if we die in the dream, we wake up in real life. We're fine.
1,
2,
3,
4,
5,
6,
7.
Baby,
do we see anybody?
Like one of the kids that was running past yelled out 7 because he heard you guys counting.
Okay.
I pull out my gun immediately, and then I was like,
"You don't have a gun."
No. Fuck.
I go to stop you, and then see you don't have a gun.
You are currently
Lewis
wearing
just crossed his arms.
And then I look for my gun.
You're currently wearing a high-waisted pair of jeans. You don't have a gun there.
Lewis has just crossed his arms and
that would ruin the dress line.
So what you're saying, I should have been specific then and said, I am a Texan housewife? Because then I would have a fucking gun on me.
Victor checks for
his
gun.
One hiding in the mailbox.
None of you have guns.
Do I have my knife?
No.
Do we have any of our gear?
Nope.
I think
I'm going to check the pockets of my Jinkos.
Look in somebody's house.
They are tight and fitted, and nothing is in them.
I just turn around and, assuming that in this dream, since we're all house spouses, just what, dear, where's my gun?
No answer.
I assume someone will be there to answer.
I wait to see if it will work.
They're probably
stick my head out. Nope.
Stevie, go to your room.
I'm gonna walk over to Ginny and say, you want to go see if there's knives in the kitchen?
Yes.
I'm gonna walk with Ginny, so roll 2.
That thought that Victor had earlier comes back with force.
Which thought?
I would love to see things exactly as they are.
Make a power roll.
Of everything the mirror could provide.
Make a power roll.
Extreme success.
Yes.
You feel yourself connect to the mirror, and then you feel something sever the connection.
Oh.
Like you feel that string pulled taut, like the mirror is communicating with you, and then something just goes, no.
That is really bad news, but also I'm loving it.
Ah, fucking hell.
You feel like you're extremely close to whatever the thing is now, based on that.
Okay, well, we're in the right place for our jobs, but that's a bad place for all of us.
Ginny and Katie, you go into Ginny's house. It is you step inside. It is a facade of a 90s like home. There's nothing in here. It is blank white. It is blank white flooring and walls.
Lovely. We're probably meant to go a different direction now.
That would make sense.
You can make an occult roll.
I suppose we should go outside and check the mailboxes. That seemed to be the next step in the script.
I do not enjoy running their obstacle course. Sorry, roll a what?
Occult.
Occult? I'm good at that.
76
It's just Ginny
out of
and,
91.
Ginny and Katie, by the way, not because they're in the house.
Show off.
With a 76 and a 10, the two of you both looking around. This feels unfinished, and it feels like unfinished in a way of no information. Not that you're here early, but there's no information. Like whatever it is it's recreating.
Has no concept of what a family house looks like.
Exactly, like it's recreating a house, but in this particular house, it does not know what the inside of it looks like.
It did its best and didn't have enough information.
Exactly.
Just all right. Let's just run through the motions so we can strangle this cosmic entity in its crib.
Victor will check his mailbox and see what's in it.
All right, whatever we're dealing with, Katie comes back outside. Whatever we're dealing with, I would hazard a guess that it has seen a cul-de-sac like this before, but it has never seen the inside of a house.
Make me a luck roll, Victor.
Yes, my mighty 13 luck. No. Got close, but no.
Can I check my mailbox?
Make a luck roll. You look in your mailbox, Victor, there's nothing in there. Anyone who wants to check their mailbox can make a luck roll.
Vanessa wants to check the backyard and see exactly how far this goes, this facade.
Yeah. You go around the house, you look in the backyard. You've got a hedge that like blocks off a square backyard with a swimming pool in the back. There are two pastel children running around in the background playing tag. And when I say pastel children, they are silhouettes of children that are pastel colors.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. Do they have facial features at all?
Nope.
May I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Or at least a question, I don't know. Do they look like two-dimensional cutouts? Like no matter which way you approach them, they're still at the same angle to you?
No, they don't look like two-dimensional cutouts, but they don't have depth. They look like a two-dimensional hole in reality in the shape of a pastel-colored child.
But one of them did say 7. Did any of them respond when I called Stevie?
No, none of them responded when you called Stevie. And looking at the ones that are running around out in front too, also just these child-shaped pastel-colored holes in reality moving around.
I know the neighbors, and I'm assuming those are adult-shaped versions of the same thing.
Yes, exactly.
I know the answer to this is no, but I'm going to ask anyways because I think it's funny. Can I spend luck to succeed on my luck roll? Because that would bring me down to 4 or 2 luck.
No.
Okay.
So
you can't spend luck on luck rolls. But anyways,
I'm checking the mailbox.
Specifically
thinking about my book.
Okay. Give me a luck roll.
Nope.
Katie, you look in there and you see a package. It is wrapped in brown paper tied with twine.
I will take it out and then ask Lewis to spot me and start opening it.
Okay. I'll come over.
All right. Inside is a relatively small, what is it? It's a small, similarly pastel-colored, small, thin cardboard box. On the outside, it says Tamagotchi, and there's like an egg-shaped cutout with a little Tamagotchi inside it.
I remembered those.
I used to have these.
I'm going to
egg-shaped keychain.
I'm going to take it out and turn it on and press the buttons to turn on the screen.
Hey, we're here. There's something being born. Maybe we shouldn't.
You turn on the screen.
Yeah, no,
you turn on the screen.
It's okay. Tamagotchis are easy to kill.
Yeah,
not this one.
You take it out. You turn it on. You turn it on as Lewis makes mention of something being born.
And then I realized maybe I shouldn't have.
There's a little beep beep sound as you look down. There's a little creature on the screen looking at you, just doing Tamagotchi things.
Hello?
Text on the screen says hello. Which is
not
a Tamagotchi thing.
No, it's not. Katie knows this. Katie has had a Tamagotchi.
Can I see this?
Yeah, you can all see that Katie has a Tamagotchi.
And you're actively watching it with me, so you can see
Yeah. Well, I was just curious if I was seeing the same thing.
Or if it was just exclusive to Katie.
Yeah, exactly.
I assume you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it.
All right. I just wanted to confirm that. Please go ahead.
Yes.
All right, guys. It's responding.
Maybe ask it. Ask it what it wants us to do next.
Does it respond to that from Lewis?
No, it's looking at you.
What variety of 90s mom is Katie?
Piper Hallowell.
Okay.
Is there anything flashing on the screen indicating it needs something?
It seems bored.
I don't like that. Katie's mind is working overtime. This feels to her like
Make a power roll, by the way.
What?
Make a power roll.
Okay. This feels to her like something is trying to create family and stability, and I'm spending luck.
Okay. With a success in your power roll, this is an object of power. Make an occult roll. This is the center of the AWE.
All right. I'm going to sit down on the lawn. Look up at Lewis. Look down at the thing and say, hello, it's nice to meet you. We've been looking for you.
It continues to look at you. It seems like it's waiting for you to say something.
Lewis will wave at it over Katie's shoulder.
I would love to ask you what it is that you are looking for by all of this.
The little digital monster just disappears and it just says, "Play with me."
Don't like that.
And then the digital monster appears again.
There are some games that people like to play and some games people don't like to play. I would love to play a game with you that is in the first category. So could you tell me a little bit more about how you want to play?
Craig was saying something as well.
Oh, I think Lewis is just kind of, if we don't already have everybody's attention, Lewis is just kind of trying to
gathering it
people over.
Yeah, no, I feel like everyone's around at this point.
Okay, all right. That's all. I didn't want anyone to not be here in character.
Yeah.
The pet disappears and it shows a little like cable with a plug and another cable with a plug, like, but it can't connect them. It's giving you like a connectivity signal image.
Oh. Is that
wait, what?
I was just wondering, is that what it needs to play, or is that what it needs to level up?
Can I ask about, was it a tornado or a hurricane? A hurricane?
Yeah.
Can I ask about the hurricane?
The little digital monster looks over to one side and gestures, and you see a hunger bar that is like 75% full.
What does the solution to that look like for you?
Gestures, and for a second it blinks to full and then blinks back down.
I suppose I walked right into that one.
We don't want it hungry.
Maybe ask it what would help with the hunger.
What would we provide you to fill up your hunger bar if we were going to do that?
The digital representation of a cute little creature is replaced by the digital representation of a very unsettling and slightly demonic looking smile. And then the screen goes blank.
It's going to eat us and everything.
I would like to attempt to connect with this thing. I have connected with an object of power before.
Oh boy.
You go ahead and give me a power roll.
I don't think you're wrong. I just think, oh boy.
Oh no, I might be turning into the big bad here.
No, I know. Also,
so if y'all have to kill me.
While we are talking out of character, I will also say huge props for fully Sigourney Weaver in galaxy questing your way through that interaction. The whole like, I have one job. It's stupid, but I'll do it. Just repeating what other people say.
All right, so connecting to this thing, you get the sense that this is a. Make me an occult roll.
I am playing into my strengths here. Fuck! Oh my god! Holy fuck!
Do you have the luck for that?
Wait. What happens if I push it?
Then
I have the luck for it, but what happens if I push?
Push it.
If you push it, something bad happens to your character. I can't be more specific than that without,
You have to push it. There is no other option.
There's a lot of peer pressure here.
I think you're right. I have to push it. Because if I fail and something bad happens to my character that's narratively compelling,
it's the
there's
best.
no chance of me failing.
Okay. All kidding aside, obviously you have to do what you want to do. I can guarantee what Jeremy and I would do in this situation.
I'm gonna push
Honestly,
it.
I would see if I could push it 4 times, even if I succeed the other 3.
And I voluntarily fail.
I want to keep the luck. There's going to be a clutch moment when I need a ton of it.
Yes.
God damn it!
Oh my!
I called it. I called that.
Would you
For
like
those who are,
Would you
for those who are only
returning Eldritch.
For those who are only listening, Jack just rolled a double off.
Is a success. I rolled 100.
Yeah. Well, first you rolled a 98 versus a 93, which is a
All
crit
I
fail.
needed was a 93 or less. First, I got a 98, then I got 100.
Okay, y'all.
The rest of you watch.
That's correct.
The rest of you.
This is favorite moment.
The dice is telling a story.
The rest of you watch as Kathleen disappears. And in Kathleen's place, second Tamagotchi.
Katie! I'll grab it.
You grab it. It's powered on.
I'll pick up the first Tamagotchi.
Katie, how hungry would you say you are?
On
like a percentage scale.
75%.
Yeah, so you see a little digital avatar. You see a little digital avatar of a person that looks a little confused with like a 75% full hunger bar on one side.
Hey, Katie, it's Lewis. Hey, I've got you. Can I figure out which
respond?
Button?
Yeah, you can respond.
I fucked up.
Text across the screen says I fucked up.
May I suggest it says I and then a series of like asterisks and then up?
Yeah. Well, IF asterisk up.
No. You did great. You did great.
This is a little embarrassing.
No, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. You know what? You're just leaning into the whole 90s vibe. That's okay. Can I figure out which button feeds Katie?
Yeah, this button says feed.
Oh
okay.
No. Oh no.
Okay.
You have my permission.
I'm gonna look at him and say, okay, there's a button that says feed. I feel like probably that'll give you food, but there's a chance it feeds you to the other thing.
Lewis.
If we try it and it gives me food, then we could try it with the other Tamagotchi.
Maybe we should try it with the other Tamagotchi
Lewis.
first.
Lewis.
Yeah?
If you push the button, there is a non-zero chance that you get fed to Kate. I don't. I'm laughing. Ginny is not.
Lewis is just is holding this Tamagotchi and looks over and goes, I
won't eat you if I have a choice.
I think I prefer that.
That is profoundly disturbing, Lewis.
Ginny, I always thought she was like a little sister, and then she said she thought I was like a dad, but either way, I don't want to feed her to this thing.
This is not how I wanted to visit the 90s.
I love Lewis having really a mental breakdown right now.
Lewis is just like full on crying, and he's going like, "That's really funny. Katie is a really good one." Oh God!
I just wanted to give you the information. Do what you're gonna do.
Who picked up the other Tamagotchi?
Lillian.
What are you doing? What are you doing with it, Lillian? While that's happening.
I'm gonna tell Lewis to keep trying to solve it, and I'll see what I can do from in here.
Looking back and forth between Lewis having a breakdown and the Tamagotchi.
Yeah. Okay. Are you doing anything specific with the Tamagotchi?
After a moment, I turn the Tamagotchi slightly. Is this entertaining?
Text on it says a little.
I'm not having a breakdown.
I don't like that answer.
Crying is a perfectly normal sadness. Is a
tormenting us is a little entertaining, and I'm not. I was hoping we could be friends, but okay. From within the Tamagotchi, I want to see. I'm just gonna be quiet for a while.
My sister daughter is.
I walk over. I kneel down.
Get down into a squat. 1 second.
Oh, sorry. Katie, go ahead,
Jack.
I want to try to establish a connection with the anchor.
You've no
and
connection
if I
to
succeed
anything.
and it gets cut off, I'm going to try again.
You can't. You can't even form the thought to reach out to it.
I walk over, squat down in front of Lewis. Lewis.
Yeah.
Slap.
Can I see what's going on?
Yeah. You can see everything that you're seeing is like you're seeing through a pinhole camera. So you're not seeing a lot, but you are seeing what's going on immediately around, like immediately in front of you.
Get yourself together. She needs you right now.
I'm together. Like I said, I'm not panicking. I'm not having a moment. I'm just expressing sadness in a very healthy, natural way, which is crying. But Ginny, I see that you're reaching out, and I appreciate that. And I know we're all going to get through this some way. But I also don't want to feed Neopet Katie to the Eldritch Horror.
It's Tamagotchi.
Okay. And he just kind of he turns it and shows it to
Katie's
Ginny.
coping as best she can.
He's clutching it to his face, and he turns and he goes, "It's a Tamagotchi."
I'm going to reach out carefully. Take it.
I don't think fully take my hand off.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll let you take it, but I keep a hand on it.
Katie, what do you want us to do?
Don't tell Lewis, but right now I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm dead.
What's she saying?
Tell him
she's saying
I'm
she's thinking about it right now, and she's having a great time.
I don't think that's true.
I've always wanted to be in a video game? Question mark.
Wait, I rolled the wrong one.
No.
Look, Jenny is good at a few things. A poker face is not one of them.
Jenny, I trusted you.
She's trying, but I
really appreciate what you're trying to do, Jenny.
Victor is looking around to see if there is literally anything useful other than these two Tamagotchis right now.
Give me a spot hidden check.
Lillian asked the Tamagotchi if this is what it thought would happen when it brought us here.
Hard success.
Yes, Tamagotchi. It goes. I didn't bring you here.
You didn't, then what did?
The digital avatar shrugs.
Do you want me to push the button?
You can give a psychology check if you want to try to with a penalty die for trying to read a Tamagotchi.
I might be dead anyway, so
right.
if it's useful.
Who's making the psychology check on a Tamagotchi?
You.
Okay, wanted to make sure.
Oh, if you have the 7 luck.
17 luck.
Or the 17 luck.
And I do have 17 luck, so let's do that.
Mark that as successful. You get the sense that from its reaction, you guys were brought here by its power, but not by it necessarily. Like, it's not like it was a willing thing that happened. It was just you stumbled close enough that you were brought into its innermost world.
Okay.
With a spot hidden, Victor, you do see that there are a few other Tamagotchis like that the kids are playing with and the like.
That's horrifying.
That's not good.
I'm going to just like gently rotate so Lewis can see the screen. Tell him what you just told me about what you want.
That seems like a bad idea.
Is that what shows up on the screen?
Not what you want, not what.
Well, it's facing Lewis right now. I'm responding to you, but you can't see it because it's facing Lewis.
Right.
She says it seems like a bad idea. Katie, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. What do you want?
Text on Katie's Tamagotchi says, "Feed me."
Really?
Am I how does that how does my awareness interface with that?
From your perspective, it felt like you said "feed me," but without meaning to say that.
I lean over and I look. What's the food meter at now?
50%.
I think you guys need to stop listening to me. I am not in control of what I say.
Feed me,
Ginny,
it says instead.
I told you, feed me. Ginny, I told you my wishes, roll with it.
All of that
I
continues
push
to
the
just say
button.
feed me.
Feed me.
Give me a power roll.
Okay.
Victor walks over to one of the pastel children and is like, "Can I borrow that for a second?" and tries to grab one of the Tamagotchis.
Now, okay.
String success.
Now give me an occult roll. Yes, they will let you borrow it Victor, without asking questions, Victor. They don't seem to be people. They seem to be like impressions of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Regular success.
Can I make an occult roll?
Not yet.
It won't be great, but
not yet. Because Ginny pressed the button.
Okay.
So, Ginny, you know that basically the way active objects of power that are at the center of AWE's work, functionally similar to how para-utilitarians bind to an object of power, an active object of power that's in an AWE is effectively bound to something on the astral plane. Right now, you are interfacing with this Tamagotchi in a way that would let you interfere with that connection to whatever it is in the astral plane that is connecting to the Tamagotchi itself. You can feed it, or you could try to take control. Taking control would be potentially dangerous to you. You saw what happened to Katie.
Right.
But
potentially dangerous to Katie?
Potentially dangerous to Katie as well. But you could...
Although Katie said if it's useful.
You could try. Or you could just feed.
No, fuck it. We're all in.
All right. Give me another power
Remember
roll.
how you said this? We might be here for another month?
Yeah.
I feel like, no, we're not going to be, yeah.
If this doesn't kill Katie and doesn't move us forward, I'm gonna do my astral plane interfacing because it's the last thing Katie can do.
Yeah.
All right. So power roll.
Power roll.
38.
Yes.
All right. So you interface with this Tamagotchi, and what do you want to happen in this interaction?
Now, to be clear, I am interacting with Katie's Tamagotchi.
Yes.
That is connected to this astral
As far
thing
as you
that
can
is
tell,
probably connected to the other, which is probably the other Tamagotchi.
exactly. As far as you can tell, all the Tamagotchis in this area are related in this particular fashion, including the one that Katie is in.
I want this thing to die.
This thing being
The entity.
Okay.
The entity.
Thank you.
Can Lewis say a thing? It's entirely okay if I have no idea that any of this is going on.
Yeah, you can say a thing. Yeah.
Can you feed it to Katie?
Make Katie the new entity.
I mean, that's to
Katie
die.
would be totally okay with that. Katie
Yeah.
would be so down with that.
Yeah.
Katie, make a power roll.
All right.
Please succeed.
Fumble
Katie
again.
absolutely wants to eat this thing. And I have 55 luck left.
Don't tell us ahead of time.
Extreme success.
Very nice.
Yes! Fuck yeah!
Unfortunately, now Katie is an AWE and we have to kill her.
Nope.
Um,
I'm
No, you
running
just
away
have
with
to
my
put me in
sister
this-
daughter.
Power cell.
First of all, can you not say sister daughter? Please?
I absolutely cannot stop because it is specifically to irritate you, Jeremy.
Holy fuck!
It also has interesting implications that we're not going to delve into right now.
Like, yeah, like I think Lewis needs to see someone.
I think he was very clear about it. He always
Katie.
thought of her as a sister. She thinks of herself as his daughter.
Katie.
Sister daughter. It makes sense to me.
A pellet appears in the digital landscape that you are a part of. Do you go eat it?
I look at Jenny. She looks like she is focused right now, right?
Yes.
She
Mhm.
looks like she's trying to accomplish something.
Mhm.
Then I eat it.
Okay. All of you wake up.
Yes!
So all of you sit up in the bed that you are in, Ivy still attached, gasping for air. The Smith goes, "Holy shit!
Katie!
How are you awake?"
Katie,
I'm not dead.
you okay?
He comes.
I'm
over
not
and
dead.
He comes over and immediately starts pulling IVs out so that you're not getting pumped full of anesthetic. Katie,
I'm standing up even like before he's pulling stuff out. I'm going out to see what's going on out there.
Katie, you're
I-
holding.
You should
Yeah, I'm right
definitely
behind
make
her.
like a constitution roll or something, not to fall over.
Yeah,
You're on
yeah, yeah. It's
anesthetics.
gonna be a constitution check to not fall over. Katie, in your hand is that Tamagotchi. Yeah, Jenny, you wrestle yourself up and get to the door.
Yep.
Oh, throw it open. The first thing you see is an absolutely fucking destroyed both minivan and car.
I'm gonna look at the Tamagotchi.
It's powered off.
I told you I would play with you in a way that's fun for me too.
Nice.
Looking
Lewis
outside,
is aggressively coming in for a hug. Like, just running flat out
looking
for a hug.
outside, Jenny, you
Katie
see
will just lean into it.
the tornado is gone, and so are the mountains. And you're actively watching the landscape itself peeling back as if it's this sort of, as if it's made of like powder and is being blown away by some sort of strong wind, just very rapidly approaching as it's peeling back and away.
As Victor walks over to where everyone else is looking out the door after he's had his IV pulled, and like looks over and sees that. Fuck, it'd be real nice to have my car right now.
Sorry.
The image as like Smith finally gets over to look over and see what you're looking at. The powdering effect hits the building and the car, and all of you feel this push against your bodies as if something gets thrown off of you. And the building around you shifts, and it's a barn house now. And you're looking out at
the world is returning
and you're
to
looking out
normal?
you're looking out at a wheat field.
Katie, are you okay?
Katie's busy right now. She wants to see if she can sense whether or not this thing still has power. And if so, how that compares to what it had before.
The object of power is still active. You know that the next step is to get it to the office. Because you need to get it under lock and key and secured before it starts to act on its own again, functionally.
I'm going for a phone.
Yeah. Like your cell phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, you grab a cell phone.
Yep. Calling home.
Is Klaus already calling us?
Klaus is not, but Jenny seems to be calling Klaus.
Yep.
Virginia. It rings once and then he answers. Virginia.
We've contained it. We need somebody here now.
Evac team is on the way. ETA 5 minutes.
Wonderful.
Click.
You did such a great job. How is everybody else? Lewis is looking around for everybody else, making sure everybody's up and moving.
Hector is checking all of his equipment, making sure it's all in order.
Vanessa, you've got your arm is heavily scarred, but there is skin on it now. It seems like the smith was working for quite a while to get your arm in functioning order.
I'm going to tell Lewis I need a minute and go to the corner of the barn and sit down and start meditating again.
Okay.
Try to connect to the anchor.
Make a power roll.
I totally get that, and I respect that. I just want you to know you did amazing.
All right. With a 78.
I have a question for it.
Go ahead.
Am I strong enough now?
Make another power roll.
Ginny just looks at Lewis and says, "Thank you. I appreciate you understanding my helping too."
Do I get to know in advance if I need a hard or extreme success?
You don't.
Because I will spend the luck.
You don't get to know in advance. You have a success. Do you want to try for a better one?
Hard success is 40.
13 luck, yeah.
I'm going to spend the 13 luck for a hard success and hope that's enough.
Okay.
And if it's not, we're going to do some bad decisions.
With a hard success, you 14? Get back. With a hard success, you get back. To be 13.
13.
The implication, you get an image of a... You get the image of a watch that is in the... Of a watch that is in the object of power, that is in, as in what looks like an object of power archive, similar to the one that you saw underneath the head office. And then that vision pulls back, and you see a building that you don't recognize, and it pulls back further.
It's not in the Chicago one.
And you see an aerial view of New York City.
Someone's putting in for a transfer. When we get back.
So, Ginny was saying thank you for trusting me.
No, she was doing a sarcasm because you're like, "Oh, you did so good," and you're like, "Thank you for recognizing the what I put into that."
Yeah, Lewis is like leaving Katie and then coming over, and he's like, "You were my next stop. And I'm about to violate a whole bunch of HR regulations. Come here." And he goes in for a hug.
"I will punch ya!"
Yeah, you go to punch, but he gets you too quick, and your arms are locked
I do not
like
consent.
And Lewis says, "You know what? For the first time, I don't care. You did great. Thank you. You saved her. You saved us."
But eventually, after about 5-10 minutes, a series of vehicles pull up. The Tamagotchi
Lewis has a black eye.
Lewis has a black eye. The Tamagotchi is thrown into a lead-lined box, and the rest of you, along with it, are piled into the back of a van as you are exfiltrated from the AWE. Over the next debriefing from this mission is going to take about a month functionally. Like it'll be a month of psychoanalysis, of reports, of going over notation, dictation, going back over everything that happened, detailing everything that you saw and everything that happened to you, and it will take a while. Afterwards, you will be given the option to provide some feedback on either everyone else's contributions to the mission team. These are all like anonymous feedback, etc. No one else will see it. It'll just be your feedback, and it's just for the office to get an idea of how to better coordinate with agents in the future. It's something they do after every mission. And along with that is the inclination for a request for any sort of request you might have for your next mission, or any kind of inclination as to what it is that you might be looking for. We'll start with Vanessa, with Holly. So you are asked to give your frank assessment of the other members of your crew, and what Vanessa would like to do next. So you can describe it from Vanessa's point of view or from your point of view, from a more top down. What would Vanessa put down for that?
What for the whole thing? For assessing them?
Your assessment of the other 5 members of your team. And then what Vanessa would like to do next, as far as officially in the Federal Bureau of Control.
She'll give all of them pretty good assessments. For Lewis, she says annoying but useful.
Okay.
And she gives very high assessments to, in particularly, Katie, and of course, her brother.
Right. And what would Vanessa like to do for her next mission?
Honestly, she's gonna put just wherever her brother wants to go.
Okay. Drevian, what would Lillian put for her assessment of the other field agents?
Generally positive. With special note of Lewis having a promising start and a promising continuance, and also that Vanessa needs therapy.
And what would Lillian's desire for a next mission be?
To no longer be a field agent and to go back to teaching data analysis.
Okay.
I don't want to do this anymore.
I don't want to be a field agent anymore.
I would like to return to my lane, thank you.
This wasn't even my first choice to begin with.
All right. Jeremy, what would Ginny's assessment of the rest of the crew be?
And again,
these are entirely anonymous. Nobody else would know about this in character.
It is going to be very matter of fact, very very straightforward. Here were the positives, here were the negatives. But generally positive on everybody, including Lois. Who she will say grew very quickly into the role.
All right. And what would Virginia's ideal next type of mission be?
She is going to make the case that unless we can determine otherwise, whether it was the AWE just fucking with us or they're already dealt with, or what, that her former boss is clearly out there, is probably engaging with some very dangerous stuff, and if that thread needs to be cut once and for all.
Craig.
Lewis's reports will be extremely detailed.
Of course.
And will be I think, this is kind of his deal, will be fairly in-depth psychological profiles of everybody else. He will go through the group and he will list that in language that I as a player don't have, because this isn't my training, but we'll go in significantly more detail. We'll list that Victor should be continued to assign to front field operations, and has shown a tremendous ability to come into a situation that is already underway and to exhibit immense adaptiveness and professionalism and ingenuity and calm under fire. That Vanessa has exhibited a tremendous amount of grace and calm in when things have gotten bad, and can be relied upon in all situations when things are getting hairy, save for those of an automotive nature. That Ginny again continues to exhibit an eye on the prize, and while personal goals and personal vendettas certainly become present in how she operates, she makes the intention to put the self aside and put the mission before everything else. With regard to Lillian, he writes that there is an incredible acumen for focus and for exerting the self upon the permeable reality of an AWE, and unbeknownst to him, in direct contradiction to what Lillian has requested, states that Lillian should be assigned to as many sort of field operations as possible to continue to grow this acumen. And there is also a footnote on Ginny and Vanessa's operations, that they work well together and should be assigned to future missions together. And then with regard to Katie, it is I think out of all of them, kind of the most detached, actually, like sort of the most professional and the most sort of by the blows, but really focusing in on the strides that Katie made, the focus on the mission, the bravery under fire. And the last entry in Katie's is strongest recommendation that no further direct observation is needed.
All right. And Victor?
Victor's report is generally fairly matter of fact. The most people get generally like the mission was effective, the job was done, but there are important notes for each individual member of the team. There's that Virginia is dangerously devoted to getting the job done, to the exclusion of just about anything else, which makes them a damn effective field agent, but potentially dangerous to themselves and the rest of their team, especially if they're in a position of leadership. Lillian is effective at analysis and operation, but has a habit of getting caught up and detached in things, and is likely best suited to an analysis position rather than active field work. Lewis is a surprisingly powerful emotional grounding rod for anyone else that he's around, whether they hate him or whether they love him. He's very good at keeping people emotionally active, which can help with psychological trauma in the field. Katie is aggressively devoted and extraordinarily opinionated, which is going to be both good and bad because they'll always follow their values, but those values might not always be leading them down the right shot. Vanessa, I have tacking on to previous field reports about Vanessa, I've noticed that she's developed a little bit of a complex about a little bit of an inferiority complex, which is ridiculous because she's better than me at everything. And also that she really needs to have a break and to spend some time with Virginia. And as far as next missions, I would like to deal with crazies rather than monsters next time, if possible. Something a gun works on.
Oh yeah, Lewis, what was your next desired mission?
Yeah.
I will also point out, Lewis, if Ginny and Vanessa ever get to that point, they will find that the requisite paperwork has already been filled out and filed for them with the company if they were to take it to a romantic relationship. Lewis has requested that his next assignment be with as many of this current team as possible, wherever they are assigned. He would like to work with as many of them as possible on their next mission.
And Katie.
Everybody said such nice things about everybody else. Katie's gonna be more mad.
Be an absolute bitch. Do it.
Lewis is frequently underestimated. Victor is highly competent and has a sensible head on his shoulders. Ginny should be under close surveillance as she may pose an increasing danger to herself and those around her.
Not invalid.
Vanessa would benefit from being assigned without Victor. Lillian knows her limits and uses that to her benefit. As for what she wants to do next,
be transferred to New York.
She wants to be transferred to New York in their containment department.
All right. And so with reports filed anonymously, of course, and a situation debriefed, all of you look forward to a temporary reprieve of however long that might be until your next time sent out into the field. And that is where this Call of Cthulhu Chronicle, The Vanishing County, will end. We may return to another session with the Federal Bureau of Control with the same agents, with different agents. Who knows? We'll see. But next up on the Thursday block is going to be more D&D. So thank you all for tuning in for this relatively short season of Call of Cthulhu. And thank you for my players for playing along with my ridiculous shenanigans. And we will see you all next time. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for running it, and goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.